Hi there, I'm Chihiro from Japan. Welcome back to the program. Let's learn a life lesson from a story together. Today, I would like to make a deduction about Buddhism. Buddhism is divided into several sects, but today I will talk about the most standard one. What kind of ideas and beliefs does Buddhism have? This is quite sudden, but let's say that there is an inchworm. What do you think would happen if you put this inchworm on a string in a circle? That's right, it cannot change direction and keeps moving forward. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Let's get started then. The inchworm keeps moving forward, but then it ends up right back where it started. It's just an eternal repetition. For us humans, it's easy to see how the inchworm is circling the same spot. However, the inchworm probably doesn't realize it and may think it is moving forward. What would it think if it stops and looks at its situation? I am sure it would be stunned and say, "I am just going around in circles." We, humans, might feel sorry for it. But don't you think humans are doing the same thing as inchworms do? Human beings have a lot of worldly desires. People feel happy when their desires are satisfied. Believing this, we live day by day to fulfill our desires. We go on and on, but we can never reach the goal of happiness. Just as the inchworm binds its own body with its cocoon, we humans create our suffering with our desires. There is a Buddhist term called kleshas, which means worldly desires. Kleshas are thought to cause us suffering. Buddhism teaches that there are 108 of them in total. Among those 108 kleshas, there are 3 in particular that make us suffer. Do you have any idea what they are? The answer is greed, anger, and complaint. I want money. I want a house. I want honor. I want a boyfriend or girlfriend. When I don't have it, I want to have it. When I have, I want more. This is greed. When the greed is thwarted, anger wells up. And when we blame others or the world for our misfortunes and calamities, we resent and envy. That's a complaint. As you can see, human beings have a mass of worldly desires. Therefore, at every age, people fight, get angry, complain, and hurt each other for the sake of desire. They choose to suffer by themselves. At the root of Buddhism, there is a saying, "What you sow will surely sprout." Indeed, if you don't sow the seed, it will never sprout. In other words, there is always a cause for everything. Either happiness or unhappiness, any fate has a cause. Now, what is the cause of it? The answer is your actions. The Buddha teaches that between our actions and our fate, there is a principle of cause and effect. From now on, let's talk about the principle of cause and effect. First, good seeds. In other words, good actions produce happiness and enjoyment. Next, bad seeds. That is, bad acts cause unhappiness and suffering. Then, the seeds we sow. In other words, we must reap our own deeds. Regarding this, the Buddha says, there are no exceptions. When we are born, we are all thrown out into the ocean where there are rough seas. To live is to swim in it. But since we can only see the sky and the water, we don't know which direction to swim. We have no choice but to keep swimming forever until we die, being tossed about by the waves that come in one after another. It is so painful that people cling to logs and pieces of wood floating between the waves. But they are often struck by a large wave and turned over. They drink salt water and suffer. These logs and pieces of wood are the things that support us in life, such as money, honor, family, and friends. Unexpected accidents, interpersonal relationships, examinations, career competition, debt, worries about old age. Many things make us suffer. Moreover, just right after we think we have overcome one suffering, another one comes along. What we have built up over a long period with sweat and tears can be destroyed in an instant. Even though you desperately try to climb up the hill in front of you, thinking, if I get over this hill, I will be happy. You will find another hill waiting for you. Why does the uphill road continue to go on, no matter how much you overcome it? What is the root cause of our inability to avoid suffering? True Buddhism reveals the root cause of suffering and breaks it off. And then it teaches the absolute happiness and joy of being born as a human being. The person who preached this teaching is, as you know, the Buddha. Hopefully this video is helpful to you. Well, that's about it for today's episode. How was it? I hope your life shines even brighter. Let's talk about life, time, Buddhism, love, and many other things together in the following episode. Please subscribe to our channel. Have a great time and keep on smiling. Thank you for listening till the end. See you soon.